I'm going to do my long-awaited bookshelf tour part 3. I didn't really feel like filming today because I feel really sad, but I'll do it anyway for you guys. So I'm gonna film my second last shelf. The first series on my shelf is the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. These books are just amazing. If you hadn't already heard of this or picked up the books, you should definitely check them out. And I recently watched the movie and it was really good. It was so badass and I loved it. The first book in the series is Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, and the last book in the series, Last Sacrifice. Also on this about the series, I'm just gonna put it out there that I love Adrian and he is just awesome. Next I have my Cassandra Clare books. The first trilogy being the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. I've read these books after I read the 5 books in the Mortal Instrument series, and it doesn't really matter which one you read first, but they're both really good. This one, the series, is just great. Next I have my Mortal Instruments books, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. Fourth book, City of Fallen Angels. And the 5th book, City of Lost Souls. I believe the last book, City of Heavenly Fire, is coming out this year and I am so excited. I can't wait. Next I have some completed trilogies. The Trilogy by Amanda Hocking, Switched, Torn, Ascend. And I love these books. I love the characters and I'm so excited that she ended up who I wanted her to end up with. Next I have my other series by Amanda Hocking, Wake, Lullaby, Title, and Elegy. I have no idea how to pronounce this, but this series is about sirens, these mer people kind of people, and I loved it. The last trilogy I have on my shelf is the Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver. This is about how love is considered a disease. Delirium, Pandemonium, and I love these covers. The last book is a Requiem. I didn't really like this book as much as the first 2 because the ending wasn't even an ending and I don't even know what happened at the end, and I just hope for a better ending. On to my last shelf. First I have my Cinder series by Marissa Meyer. This series is about how, some retellings of fairy tales like Cinderella. So the first book is Cinder, Scarlet, and Crest. This is my favorite book so far and I loved it. This series hasn't finished yet and I'm not sure how many books there are supposed to be. And you guys should definitely check it out. The Unbecoming Amara Daya. This book is one of my favorite books of all time. It's so creepy and the characters are awesome and I just love it, and I definitely recommend it because it's so cool and the covers are so cool. And the second book is The Evolution of Mara Daya. I love this book just as much as the first one and I can't wait for the last book in the trilogy, The Retribution of Mara Daya. And you guys should read it. Seriously, highly recommended. Highly recommended. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. This is a trilogy and it has like these powers, like people who have powers kind of theme, and it's really good. Well, it starts off kind of slow, but then it gets better, and the last book is just awesome. unravel me. And also about these books, the covers are just gorgeous and I love them. Look at the eyes. Just look at that. It's beautiful. And the last book in the trilogy, Ignite Me, my favorite book. And that eye, look, there's a bird in there. Look how gorgeous that looks. Yeah. You should read it, guys. Read it. Alice in Zombieland by Jenna Showalter. This is about Alice, like in Alice in Wonderland, but this book has zombies in it, and I love zombies, and if you love zombies as much as I do, you will love this book and its sequel, Through the Zombie Glass. And I read this book in like one day, and it was awesome. Totally check it out. Yes, yeah. The Selection series by Kira Cass. This is about princes and princesses, and the covers are gorgeous, and the dresses are so cool. And The Elite. The third book comes out this year, and a lot of books are coming out this year, and I'm so freaking excited. Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited for this year's new releases. Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake. This is also a creepy novel that I love, and it's about ghosts who kill people, I believe, and then there's people who kill these ghosts, and I just love these books. And the sequel is Girl of Nightmares. These covers are awesome. I just love them as well. Angel Fall by Susan E. This book is about angels and just full of awesomeness. And its sequel, World After. This series is recommended because it's great, and basically everything on this shelf is recommended. Ink by Amanda Sun. This book is set in Japan, and I've never read a book set in Japan, and this is a different kind of book, and I loved it. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I haven't read these two books yet, but I've heard great things about it, and I'll get to them soon, guys. And its sequel, Crown of Midnight. I just love these covers. Look how cool they are. It's like she's holding a sword, and look how badass that looks. Next, I have my Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and I've read every book in this series except for the last one. I know, guys, I'll get there. The Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. I'll read this soon. I promise. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This book has a vintagey feel, and it has all these vintage kind of photos that are just awesome. Look at that. It looks sexy. This book is also recommended because it's awesome, and it's kind of, yeah, awesome. Then we have its sequel, Hollow City, and this girl is so, just look at her. Yeah. And I hope this book is as good as the first book, and I haven't read this one yet, but I will soon. The last books on my shelf is Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. This book is about these mer people, and its sequel of Triton. So on to my pile next to my bookshelf. I have no more space. I need another one. Okay. So the first book I have here is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. If you watched my previous bookshelf tours, I have a hardcover copy of this. And if you haven't heard of this book, then I don't know where you've been. Next, I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I had to read this book for school, and I didn't really get into it, but I finished it all. And I just don't like it when schools force you to read books and they turn out, and yeah, it's just, God, I hate school. The Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. This is the prequel to Sex and the City, and I love the TV show, and I hope they make another season because Carrie and Sebastian are just meant to be. These Broken Stars by Amy Hoffman and Megan Spooner. I haven't read this book yet, but I bought it because the cover is pretty. And I hope this book turns out great. Next I have Half Bad by Sally Green. I picked this up recently and apparently it's about witches, and look, the covers look half bad, half bad. Yeah. I haven't read many witch books, but I'm looking forward to this one. Next on my pile I have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Its sequel, Siege and Storm. I haven't read these books yet, but if you guys have, let me know in the comment section what you thought of these books or any books that I just showed you guys. And I'm really excited to read this one. I heard so many things about it and I hope it turns out amazing. The last books on my bookshelf tour I'm going to show you guys is my Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. I haven't read these ones yet because I've got to read the last book in the Percy Jackson series before I start this one, and this series is apparently just awesome. The Heroes of Olympus, The Mark of Athena, The Son of Neptune, and the fourth book in the series so far, The House of Hades. If you guys like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.